Hey everyone, Mishke here, endorsing a new podcast in Garage Logic world. It's called Mishke, which is coincidence. I don't know the guy personally. But word is, his show is worth checking out, and he says if you don't care for it, he'll redo the damn thing. Yeah, tailor it more to your liking. Just drop him a note, toss in a sawbuck. He's a good man. He'll make it right. That's Mishke. Show comes out every Friday around 6 p.m.
This is the Weekly Scramble, a place where we chat about life over a cold one or two. It's time to belly up to the pod with Mike Fratelloni and your host, Chris Reavers.
That's right. It's the Weekly Scramble podcast. And my name is Chris Reavers, and with me, as always, his name is Mike Fratelloni. Mike.
Yeah.
Holy F, do you look different?
Yes. I mean, so, you know, when they say idle hands are the devil's playground, right?
Yes.
So sometimes I say to myself, you should start running again, right?
Okay.
So I buy running shoes and I got the shorts and then I say, maybe you should shave your head because you want to run, because I'm going to sweat so hard when I'm running, right?
Right.
So I cleaned it up a little bit so those of you on YouTube can see me nearly bald, and it's going to be just fine. Everyone's freaking out.
You're not dying of cancer or nothing like that.
Knock on this, right?
Right.
But it will grow back. In like another month, I'm going to look totally normal. Right now, looks like I might have a disease. Right?
Can I say something?
Yeah, sure.
You and I have known each other for the better part of 2 decades.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not joking.
Sure.
Okay, this is bro to bro.
Okay.
Dude.
Yeah.
You look good.
You like this?
I'm not joking.
It seems a little weird to me.
Okay, so full disclosure, ladies and gentlemen, when I walked in, we're recording this show on a Tuesday afternoon because of scheduling issues and whatnot. When I walked back in, because I was meeting with somebody else, I walked back in and I saw Mike sitting in the studio because he's the rare person that's a contributor to the podcast but has his own badge.
Sure.
Because you've literally been an employee longer here than I have. You were sitting there at Joe's chair and I went, holy F. Homeboy looks good. I'm not joking.
Well,
I'm not joking. You look great.
Okay, Reavers. Something's wrong with you.
No, I'm not kidding.
If you think I look good like this.
I'm not joking.
It's funny because I do not feel good like this. I do not look good like this. But it is super convenient, right? When you shave your head this short.
You save a lot on shampoo.
You save everything on shampoo. I use my same lava soap that I clean my undercarriage with. Yep, I got to use lava down there.
Right.
You got to use lava. Well, thank you, Reavers. That's very nice of you. I think I look a little bit more alien-esque.
I hope that this doesn't offend you or anybody that may or may not be listening. You look younger.
Well, could be. I'm getting used to it. But it doesn't matter.
So when did the shave happen, by the way?
About 1 hour ago.
Okay.
Yeah. So
I'm not joking.
It's very, very fresh.
I think you look great.
Really?
And so here's the reason.
I'll take it. Yeah.
So I have an uncle who's basically an older brother.
Sure.
Because my dad is the oldest of 6.
Okay.
And so his youngest brother is like 10 years older than me.
Okay.
He was 10 when I was born. Right? So he's basically an older brother.
Sure.
And a prison guard, like badass baseball player, softball player, like just tough as nails, right? And he did the same look you have currently, but it was like super clean, like no follicle, nothing, right? And I always admired that look for him because it spoke badass.
Really?
You don't mess with Dennis Reavers.
I'm liking it. I'm still getting used to it.
Here's the thing.
Yeah.
Dennis Reavers walks into the pub in Elysian, Minnesota. Holy crap. Just get out of the way.
Really?
Even though he ain't going to start a fight.
No.
But he'll end one.
Oh, good. Okay, good. Well, I think when I walk into a pub in Mendota Heights, Minnesota, people say...
Lucky 13?
Lucky 13s
Nice.
or the VFW
Shout
or
out.
Bogies.
Shout out.
They're going to say, who's this guy?
Oh.
My God. They're not going to, this does not give me a badass vibe.
No.
One thing I did, I shaved my face too. I know we're getting in a lot, but normally I have a
Mike, it's
4
July.
days. It's July.
There's no rules.
You know, I'm
the
going
radio
to,
station.
a little bit behind the scenes. Reavers walked in and he said, today's going to be a different kind of show. We're going to get back to what you and I talk about. Just you and I talking about stuff. right?
Yep.
And you know, you said we're recording this a couple days earlier than we're going to post it. Right before we got here, Ozzy Osbourne died, right? And
excuse me.
yes,
The King of Darkness.
the King of Darkness.
The floor is yours.
It's so weird because I grew up on Crazy Train and Mama, I'm Coming Home and all these songs. These were like, I was in high school in 1989. And it's weird that I don't know what officially got him, you know, what killed him. I know he had Parkinson's. And
76 years old.
76 years old. I know he wasn't healthy, but it's for a man to live through what he lived through, to do what he did to his body and still make it to 76 is a testament.
So he officially died with Parkinson's disease. And the farewell. Okay, so I'll read the official report.
He just had a concert the other day.
Well, the
farewell tour concert.
Born John Michael Osbourne. Okay, he died 76 years old. Here's the thing. When they did the tribute show, was it 2 Sundays ago? The Black Sabbath, because everybody knew
he was going to die.
He had a very small leash to live, right?
Yeah.
And I remember when they trotted him out and I saw him performing, he was sitting in a chair, which because, of course.
Sure.
And you thought, okay, pretty cool that they would do this. But then you saw someone that was larger than life.
Mm-hmm.
You saw someone that had every ounce of charisma. In fact, I got to give a shout out to Ray Eric, formerly of KQ92.
Sure. Frat Packer.
Frat Packer.
Yeah.
He posted a photo of him and Ozzy in like 1986 on his Facebook
Just
page.
think all those people raised man.
And Ray's the man. Like I grew up listening to Ray. Sorry, Ray. Don't kill me. It's not my fault. But I grew up listening to you.
Sure.
And I love all of those guys. And it was like him and Ozzy looks like he's about 28 years old.
Wow.
And it's just cool. Like that's the part of this business that's cool.
Sure.
You get to meet these people. You get to understand who they are, and you get to kind of absorb their aura,
Part
right?
of their aura, sure.
And I never got the chance to meet Ozzy or whatever, but I wasn't like a diehard Black Sabbath fan, but I understood what Black Sabbath and Ozzy Osbourne meant.
Sure.
Like I knew what that in the history of music, like Crazy Train, when you hear the opening of Crazy Train, you can't do anything but get jacked because it's awesome.
Sure.
It's just cool. And I got to say this, War Pigs, before you got in here, I was listening to War Pigs on repeat.
Okay.
And even to the point where I was listening to covers of War Pigs.
Really?
Because it's such an awesome song. It's just, everything about it is great. And again, you're a left. No, it has nothing to do with political affiliation. It has everything to do with the beauty and the craftsmanship of music. And I will say this, I'm not a huge fan of covers, but at the same time, I love covers when they're done well. And I got to say this, if you haven't heard it yet, look up. So this is the farewell run of the Letterman show. Whenever he was off the air, like 2010, does that sound right?
Yeah.
Around that, whenever the last week of the Letterman show was on CBS, because I was a huge David Letterman fan.
Okay.
Grew up watching him on NBC when my mom thought I was sleeping in bed up until I was a full-grown, big-ass man, right? And I remember when the last week of his shows, he had the Foo Fighters just basically sit in studio, and each day they had a different band come in and they would collaborate. And it was super cool, Mike. If you haven't seen this,
I think I recall some of that.
but it was all of those medleys or whatever, they were all fantastic. But the best one was when the Foo Fighters were in studio and they had the Zac Brown Band, okay? Country group,
okay,
right? And the Zac Brown Band on their own is fantastic.
All right.
They're so good. And they together covered War Pigs. And it's like, holy F. These guys know what they're doing.
Sure.
And that's
talent can do it.
Talent can do anything. And I remember, in fact, I was talking to Johnny Height about this, who's a huge music fan. And it's like, well, it doesn't matter what style of music people put out. if they know how to put out good music, they can play anything. And that's what convinced me about the Zac Brown Band. I'm like, whoa. These guys can play whatever they want to play. They're just choosing this lane because obviously that's where their passion is, or that's where the money is. But so I saw that and I went, holy crap, what a great. So anyway, if you have the chance, look that. I mean, obviously, YouTube the crap out of Black Sabbath, but at the same time, look up this cover because that's what I love about. That's what I love about music. Music has the ability to put yourself in a mindset of, here's where I am at this particular time. I remember listening to this song at this particular place. I remember hearing this thing and this set of circumstances was going on in my life. And that's what is the beauty of music, is it triggers chromosomes inside your head that nothing else can touch. There's psychological reference points that make that possible. And I remember just a few months ago saying the same thing to my kids because there was something that had come up in our lives that me and my two sons needed to attach ourselves with. And sorry, I'm going to get personal. And a song came on, and it was on a station that will go nameless, but we were not in this state. And because I don't like referencing Sirius Satellite because Mr. Hubbard gets mad at me, but a song came on, and we were driving through the middle of nowhere at a particular point of the day where the sun was gleaming. And I remember telling my kids, every time you hear this song, you're going to remember this spot in this car for the rest of your life. And of course, my oldest, my 13-year-old said, okay, Dad. This is, like I said, like 4 months ago. And of course, my 10-year-old said, okay, Dad, let's go get pizza, whatever, right? And then flash forward a couple of weeks later, like, Daddy, you're right. I heard that song again, and that's what I thought about. And I said, that's how it works. It strikes that part of, is it cerebellum? Is that the part of your brain? It strikes the cerebellum at a specific point where you are going to remember that. And I remember hearing War Pigs for the first time. By the way, full disclosure, Weekly Scramble fans, Chris Reavers is all over the map today.
It's okay.
And
I'm listening to you. I see what you're doing.
Mike Fredoloni is right here with me.
I'm right next to you, man.
I'm Goose to Maverick, and we have no idea where we're going, but I trust this guy.
But let's put it in full gear. Yeah?
And so that's why I was saying about War Pigs is it's, the mid 80s, and I hear this song, and it's, I'm 7, 8 years old, and I'm at Nick Vogel's farmhouse in the middle of nowhere, and we had a party. Not a party, but it was like a birthday party because we're all in 4th grade going into 5th grade. But it's summer, and we're in the middle of a cornfield, and the mosquitoes are eating us up alive, but we didn't care because we were free. And I remember hearing Black Sabbath being blasted on whatever it was, and it was that moment in time where you just kind of felt like, oh yeah, we got this. We're going into 5th grade. Jefferson Elementary, Faribault, Minnesota. We got this. And it was so cool because when I heard War Pigs today at 47 years old, that's immediately where my brain went to. And that's the beauty of music. Thank God we can't play it on a podcast because we'll get sued. But that's my point. That's what I love about the fabric and the foundation of music. I have talked for a long time, and I need to take a drink of water.
Yeah, I appreciate you, Reavers. You're going through some heavy stuff, right? You're going through some heavy stuff. Everybody who's listening can tell right now. And I appreciate you, and I love you. And we said before we started this show that we're best of best. And when I say at the end of the show that you're the best, I mean it. And I just love you, and I care for you. And it's funny that Ozzy Osbourne dying brings back memories of good times, right? And it's sad that you have to remember the good times when somebody dies. Like, why can't we remember to live life today?
And it's so funny you say that, Mike, because that's the one thing that that I'm trying to kind of instill. And again, I'm not perfect. Nobody is, right? And it's conversations with my sons and saying, hey, I have a rule. with both those boys. And it's I don't care if you screw up. I mean, come on.
Sure. Kids are going to screw up.
How many times, right?
All
Me.
of them. Yeah.
Everyone. Every box. Yep. Checked them all. And I said, I don't care if you screw up. The only time I'm going to care is if you lie to me. Don't lie to your dad.
Sure.
Tell me the truth. I don't care at 19, if you give me a call that said, we're all drunk, something happened, call me, tell me the truth. If nothing illegal happened, you know what I mean? But
Sure.
like, just
You're
this is our
always
rule.
there for the truth.
I will be here as long as the second you lie to me, that's when we're going to have a problem, right? And so that's why I think it's so important to instill that type, because I think, Mike, in all honesty, and based upon what we talked about on Tuesday, I think what we're losing in the fabric of this society is the trust factor, the social contract.
Sure.
Where in the city, in the inner city, it's like, I still love Minneapolis. I still love working here. I still love everything about this. I still love what the fabric of what we believe in to be true. But unfortunately, other people don't believe that. And that's why when I go about my daily walk of life, that's why I've decided to say, okay, here, well, I got to move a little bit further away because I want to feel safe and I want to secure long-term growth and long-term everything else. But the problem is the vision that I have, and we talked about this the other day, the vision that I have, at least for my family, is my vision. But it doesn't align with, unfortunately, with the vision of a lot of other people, if that makes any sense.
Let me play this back for you just a little bit. You said something really dramatic about what you tell your kids, right?
Yeah.
You're clearly talking to your kids, and you're making it clear what the expectations are, and that you love them, and they're the most important thing to you. Not everybody had that, right? Not everybody has that.
Yeah.
People make decisions, and some of those decisions that we're frightened about, and people that are being destructive and dangerous, and the things that we bitch about on this show all the time, where you're like, what is going on in this society? Well, maybe they don't have a you at home, right? Maybe they don't have a mom that's a good mom. You know, maybe they didn't have a dad who was a cop and a mom who was a psychologist, and that could really help you through and help people through. These people are maybe going through something totally different. We are deep on the couch of psychology today, right?
Yeah.
We are feeling this. But I think what we have to remember as men, you and I, is that we are blessed.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
We are the luckiest of the lucky. And that not everybody, in fact, the vast majority is not as lucky as we are.
Yeah.
Right? So when we can and we are lucky, we better make the most of it.
Yeah.
Right? We better make the most of it.
And I will say this. One of the I don't want to pinpoint anything because I've been very fortunate. Don't get me wrong.
Sure.
I mean, I have so many friends and family that have real jobs for a living. You know, I'm not roofing a house.
Yep.
I'm not digging a ditch. It's 150 degrees outside with 90% humidity. Like, I get it. I understand how fortunate that I am as an individual, as a husband, as a father, as a provider, as everything else. And so when I bring up stuff, it's like but I also at the same time I appreciate what God has given me in life with family and with everything else. And so, a couple of weeks ago, and I'm not going to name the place, I'm not going to name the team, I'm not going to name anything. I have gained, since I stopped playing sports, which was, trust me, I get why some of these pro athletes kind of lose it because they don't know what to do. This is all they've done their entire life, right? I get it. I totally get it because it's like, well, now what?
Now what?
Now what do I do? But through coaching, yeah, right. Start a podcast, be a dumbass like Reavers. But one of the things that I really appreciate, and I honestly have almost enjoyed more than playing, is through coaching, and especially coaching both of my kids' teams.
Yeah.
And I'll say this. So I was leaving a tournament. This is, like I said, this is actually a couple months ago, and I was walking by myself because my son was riding home with his mom, and I was walking by myself, and there was a kid. This is a Saturday. It's got to be 4:00 in the afternoon, right? On a warm June day, and he was sitting at a tee just by himself, and I could tell, like, oh God, his swing is terrible. But I could say, okay, do I stop, be perceived as a creeper, or do I keep going to my truck so I can get home and watch it? I said, nope, gonna stop.
Yep.
So I said, hey, bud, how you doing? And he said, good. And I said, you're getting under it a little bit, meaning his swing was, he was chopping at it really bad. And I said, well, you got your hands are too low or whatever, So I said, here's this, here's that. Well, someone was watching me. You can tell when someone's looking at you, but you can't really tell who's looking at you. And so that person, I'm not going to name male or female, had started, I go, I'm a coach. She's like, no, sorry. I said she. She's like, no, I'm watching. I said, he's dipping his hands. He needs to go through the ball, blah, 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 blah. And I said, no, let's do this again. Let's do this again. I sat there for like 15 minutes, whatever. And he said, no one ever showed me that. I'm thinking, you know what? If that 15-minute encounter changed that kid's life, then fine. Yeah. Because the sport I love, the sport of baseball, if that makes a difference in some, and even if it's not sports, even if it's not baseball, whatever, but just knowing that, because I had those people like growing up, whether it was my dad or other coaches, like this world needs more of that. This world needs more of let's help each other. Let's find a way to give back, because we've lost that. This society has lost that. The society has lost, let's take care of one another. And by the way, after I let him do it by himself, he still screwed up for a little bit, but then he finally got it, right? He finally started to connect. And I just thought, man, you know what? If we got back to open garage doors and letting people just kind of enter into our own lives and allowing each other to kind of police one another, as opposed to worrying about the grander scheme of things, damn, this world would be a better place.
Sure.
So anyway, hi. But I remember in that moment, this young man, great kid. I'm not going to give out his first name. He wasn't even from the town I live in. This was some kid that lived like probably an hour away from me. But in that moment, I just thought, no, dude, let's do this. Let's do this. Let's do this. It's because here, dads with kids that play baseball, it's like a cuckoo clock. Okay. You're rocking back and forth. You keep your arms and your elbows at the same pace. Now with the bat, right at the baseball, let the bat follow through. Kid will be gold. Anyway, I'm rambling because I'm emotional. The point is, when we get back to the fabric of what originally made all of us great, and this is not a political statement by any means. I'm saying taking care of the guy next door, cutting the grass for the old guy down the lawn, walking the dog for the old lady across the street that's having some medical issues. That's the thing that we need to get back to, Michael.
The fabric of Americana.
Yeah.
You know what else I'm going to try to transition right to?
We went from Ozzy Osbourne to Reaver's emotional story about coaching
but what we
baseball.
need to transition to.
But you know what? Can I say this? That's what I love about doing this show with you. Yeah. When you and I first started, boy, I'm just going to hijack this MFer. When you and I first started, ladies and gentlemen, I remember getting an email from the big boss saying, hey, we got a meeting about this, that, and the other thing. I'm like, okay, great. Now what are they going to make me do? Because they knew I would always say yes to everything, right? Which, again, I'm joking, but it's what I love about working for Hubbard Broadcasting. They never say no to a great idea. And then I met you, and we started doing the show, and it's like, oh, you mean you're going to make me sit here on Thursday nights and after the show have a beer with somebody and meet all these great people or whatever? But that's, I guess, and that's what I love about what we have built with not only the show on the radio, but now as a podcast, is we've created this really cool thing where we just get to hang out, be a couple of dads talking about everything that life has to offer, and sometimes, like Reavers is being today, get a little emotional about stuff, because that's what this is. That's what we do.
Yeah. No one's going to listen to this podcast and think you're nuts, Reavers, but a whole bunch of people are going to listen to this podcast and want some We Are Nuts.
All right, you're doing the We Are Nuts ad today.
Yeah, he's too emotional. We Are Nuts, MN.com. That's wearenutsmn.com. You find them at Fratelloni's Max, Kowalski's. You find them online at wearenuts.com, wearenutsminnesota.com. Reavers, you're going to have to help me with that part. But we have them in our stores at Fratelloni's, at the Max stores in Minnesota, South Dakota, North Dakota. I already said that. And they are beloved by our customers.
Do you want to know what I had for lunch today?
A thing of We Are Nuts.
The toffee almonds.
Yeah, oh, good.
I had a canister of those in the truck, and I put them in the cooler so they wouldn't like melt and then form together.
Sure.
So I put them in the cooler, and that's what I was. I had to have a phone conversation with somebody before, and that's what I had for lunch today was the toffee almonds because they're. My God.
They're so good.
They're so good.
They're so good.
Anyway, I'm sorry.
So
I interrupted your ad.
Well, I just want, it's a Minnesota company made by great
awesome.
guys.
They're such great people.
Such great people. If you haven't given them a try, please go on to wearenutsmn.com and check it out. See what they have. They have candies, nuts, chocolates, a whole array of things. Gift packs that you can send. Do we have any?
Yes. So right now, if you buy the original 4-pack Nut House pack, you get $10 off if you use the promo code GL Nut House at checkout. You have to use the promo code to get the $10 off. It's GL Nut House. That's all one word, GL Nut House. At checkout, and you get $10 off. It's a steal.
It's a steal.
It's an absolute steal if you use that promo code right now. But here's the thing: you buy that 4-pack, and you can either have it at home or whatever. I've given a couple away. I have brand new neighbors that moved in next door. He goes, where did you get this? He was painting the garage, the inside of the garage. He goes, I ate these when I was painting the house at midnight. Where can I get more of these? So I brought another canister.
There you go.
Anyway, great dude. But that's the thing. They're just it's for the snack lover. We Are Nuts people are fantastic.
And just good people. I was talking to someone else today about how it's nice to know our advertisers personally.
Yeah.
And if everybody knew the guys from We Are Nuts as well as we know. I mean, they're already successful.
Yeah, right.
They're already a successful company. They're already selling a lot.
But they
become
planters.
That. Yeah, honest to God, it's so impressive.
Yeah.
So just wearenutsmn.com. Go check it out.
Awesome. Michael, I'm not even exactly sure how you begin to describe. In fact, I do know how to describe this. I had a friend who I used to work with in radio, who is still in radio, that works in a different market.
Okay.
And that person called me to A, rip about the Twins, to B, talk about the Vikings, and then say, so let me get this straight. You have a state senator that just got arrested, that just got charged with not one, but 2 felony counts of burglary because she tried to, quote unquote, check on her stepmother at her home.
Wearing all black.
At 3 a.m, wearing an all black cat costume and pretended that she was checking on the welfare of the. I go, yep. Welcome to Minnesota.
We got that. Oh, and by the way, she also voted for herself to not get kicked out of the legislature, which was just weird.
Way, she used to do a mean forecast.
Was she pretty good at that? Okay. Oh no. I don't know. I find it so it's weird.
Okay, let me just say this.
It's so bizarre. It's so incredibly bizarre.
Okay, based upon what we talked about on Tuesday with Omar Fateh winning the DFL nomination, I'm just so fatigued by this.
Yeah, it's clown world.
Who else is tired of this bleeping clown show that we live in? Whether it's Walls with his fancy hands and just what is this? This is not Minnesota, the Minnesota I grew up in. This isn't the work your ass off, do your job, raise your kids, go get them, have fun, and 9 months out of the year it's a great place to live because 3 months of the year the state sucks.
Yeah, hibernate for a little bit.
Like what happened to us?
Even the way they're talking about Senator Mitchell,
God, I'm worked up.
They're like, Senator Mitchell's constituents deserve for her legislative projects to be finalized or ready to hand off for her successor.
What projects?
That's what I'm saying. Mitchell's constituents deserve to have their outstanding initials handled before her resignation. It's like, who wants this drip, this thief, this woman who broke into her mother-in-law's house to take care of anything. I wouldn't hire her to run an ice cream stand.
She was laying underneath the bed of the mother-in-law. I was checking
on her. Yeah.
No, you weren't. You psych.
It is a weird thing. That is a really weird story.
Okay,
that's 1 degree away from her killing her mother-in-law.
You remember the YouTube video of the crazy hot matrix?
Sure.
Well, up here you got your no-go zone.
Yeah, your redheads and
what?
Yeah.
Okay, let's just call it what it is.
Okay.
Right? This is Open Book Thursday on the Weekly Scramble podcast. Okay. We've all dated crazy. We've all dated crazy. We've all been around crazy, okay? Maybe not serious. We obviously didn't marry crazy, but crazy's been around our lives forever. You meet someone and you go, oh, so, okay, yeah, I'm a state senator. Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, cool.
That's
impressive.
Yeah. Oh, I believe she has 2 children.
Don't know that.
Okay. I know there's at least one. Okay, that part is meaningless. Oh, okay, that's super cool. So, you also used to be, I believe she had a military background. Wow, that's
Colonel
really good.
in the U.S. Air Force.
Yeah, you used to serve that's incredible. So, what happened? Well, I had to step down from the legislature because I was caught and arrested and then subsequently charged with 2 felony counts of burglary because I dressed in all black and I broke into my stepmother's
200 miles from my house,
200 miles away from my home at 3:00 in the morning because I was trying to retrieve some of my stepfather's things. I'm sorry, what? This wasn't on your Match.com profile. So I have to actually.
I gotta go.
I gotta use the restroom real quick, but I promise I'll be right back. Yeah, I'm not gonna leave my phone on the table, and I'm also not gonna leave anything else. But I promise I'll be right back.
What happens to her next? What happens to her in life? She's going to get some jail time because I think there's a mandatory when you bring tools to create a burglary. There's a mandatory. Like she had a crowbar, right?
I think you're right.
When she brought the crowbar, I think she gets like 6 months.
We're a hoot.
Yeah,
we are a freaking hoot.
So
man.
is she going to get 6 months in jail, prison? Right? I assume she'll go to prison for 6 months, not just spend time in jail. She'll get 6 months in prison. Then when she gets out, she won't be able to vote anymore, right? Honest to God, I don't wish her ill. I don't. But that is what is in your thought pattern when you're like, I'm going to go break in. Why couldn't you? Obviously, she could have waited till her stepmother went out to get her hair done and could have gone there and said, oh, the door was open on a Tuesday. I just wanted to grab some of my dad's paperwork. She could have done that, but instead she decides to go in the middle of the night when the woman's at home, sleeping. I mean, dangerous, dumb, destructive, destroyed her life. She's I don't even want to say a laughing stock of the legislature because it's not even funny. It's scary and dangerous and dumb. It's just dumb.
And you wonder too, Mike, like, okay, so whatever your intention was, whatever it might have been, really?
That's your thought pattern?
That's where you went to?
That's the answer of how you solve this?
And don't get me wrong. Ain't nobody throwing rocks in this glass house, right? We've done some dumb stuff, dumb decisions, and chief among them. Hi, how are you? My name's Chris Reavers. I do a podcast. But my point is, you're a public figure, and the part where did you see the body cam footage?
Yes,
where she looked at the cop and said, "Yeah, I'm really bad at this."
Yep.
Okay.
Do you notice how chill the cops were too? They're like get out on the ground.
Whatever cops make, double it. Because of stuff just like this.
But she complied, right? She complied pretty easy from what I understand. From the video I saw, she laid down. The cop was chilled out. The stepmom standing in the back on the stairs, like back there, and Nicole's yelling, "Karen, it's me. It's Nicole." And Karen's like, "What the hell? What are you doing here? What are you doing?"
At 3
o'clock in the morning. It's like, wow. But you know what? The most impressive thing of this story is that the mother-in-law, who's not young, had the wherewithal to stay in the house, call the police, and say, "Someone's in my house." I can tell you, when you well, first of all, people wouldn't be alive if I knew someone was in my house. Right?
Right.
We would have a whole different. Remember that scene from Pulp Fiction?
Oh, yeah.
Where they're down in the basement,
Yep.
and the guy. Just kidding. I wouldn't do that Pulp Fiction.
I know, but
but people would have a whole shit full of bad times if that happened, and I had the wherewithal to catch them. Right.
Well, and that's the thing, because you don't understand what someone
down there
is willing to do, not knowing the circumstances of a given situation. Chief among them, like we have someone like me, you have 4 girls in your home, your wife and your 3 daughters.
Sure.
I
don't know what's going on.
I ain't breaking into your house because I know what's going to happen.
Why would I risk anything happening to them? But this mom, the stepmom, was standing in her nightgown, and the cop was downstairs. She had to turn to the cop and say, "Hey, head downstairs because someone's in the basement." And the cop, I wouldn't have the balls to just walk into the basement.
This may or may not get me into trouble, but I'm willing to go there on a day like today.
You're against nightgowns?
No.
Okay.
I would understand if all of this situation was playing out and it was a guy like, she's home alone. Like, as in like NX, like, hey, baby, I'm coming back to you.
Oh, okay. You could see the mom or someone breaking into the stepmom's house.
This, you know I am kidding.
Yeah.
But that I at least understand because we all know how that part of our male anatomy works.
Sure.
But under these circumstances, I don't get any part of this.
Weird. Why don't you wait till she went on? I mean, as if I were a criminal and if I had to think this.
If you were John Cusack with the boombox over the top of your head trying to get her back and you may have snuck into the basement. Okay, I get it. It's undefeated. You're trying to get that. You're trying to get that back. This is just like, what are you doing?
What are you doing? Wait, okay. My little criminal bubble,
please,
says this: if I had to be a criminal and I needed to go get something out of my stepmom's house,
I love this show.
Oh, she's going to go to Punta Cana for a week here in a month. Why don't I wait till she goes on vacation, walk over there, open up the door, go grab the stuff, and then go close the door? That seems way easier than I'm going to drive 200 miles. I better wear all black. This woman, was Nicole Mitchell married? I think she is.
That I don't know. I don't know.
I'm making it up. But if she's married, do you think her husband was like, you did what? Let me, in
the middle of the night?
As you talk about this, let me see if she's married.
I can assure you, Michael, that I know that she had at least one child because I know one of the reasons that she gave for not resigning immediately upon the arrest was she wanted to keep the health benefits for herself and for her children, but I don't know if it was more than one child.
Okay.
So I'm almost positive that had surfaced upon the arrest, whenever that was, however many months ago.
Well, I think because we're good people and we have to wrap this show up, I think we should say to Nicole, thank you for your service, because she was a lieutenant colonel. That is the least we can do.
Absolutely.
And good luck to you, Nicole. I hope all the best for you. I don't wish you any bad, but boy, did you make a mistake. That was dumb. That was dumb. And Reavers... D-U-M,
dumb.
It was. Reavers, you are the best.
Thank you, Michael. Please do us a favor, rate and review the show wherever you happen to be listening to the Weekly Scramble podcast. It helps other people find the show. It helps us out as well. And one last thing that I'd like to mention. If people are out there, if people are listening to this show, they heard the opening segment of this show, check in on others. See if other people are in need of help, because sometimes the people that are the most silent are the ones that need your help the most. And I am someone that has fallen guilty of that, not reaching out when I probably should have, and also not reaching out to others when they probably needed it. And I urge each and every one of you to do that very thing. His name is Mike Fratelloni. Mine is Chris Reavers. He's got a brand new haircut, by the way, and he looks really good. Thank you so much for listening to the Weekly Scramble podcast. We'll talk to you again next time. Until then, cheers.